All right, so Neal Battaglia here. I run Sax Station. We've got Brian Landau from BriansThing. He's got his YouTube channel and his website by that name. I've known Brian for a few years. I met him for the first time at the NAMM show in Anaheim. I think I probably talked to you online a couple times before that.
Yeah, we
Yeah, so yeah,
yeah.
basically kind of pretty famous on YouTube. He does a lot of interesting covers, does some cool collaborations with other musicians. And then in the LA area, you play with some different bands and different performances, right?
hmm
Cool. And you're endorsed by Cannonball, Leger, and Oleg, right?
And Reunion Blues.
Union Blues. Oh, Reunion Blues. Okay.
Yeah, Reunion Blues. They make stands and cases
Oh, okay. Cool,
for
cool.
yeah.
Nice. Yeah, actually, I just got a new case. I got one of the BAM cases, and I
Oh
was kind of
yeah, those are
nervous because
nice.
I went out to Tennessee with my tenor, and I wasn't sure if I could carry it on, but it ended up being fine. So I was pretty happy.
Oh, cool.
But okay, so yeah. So what bands are you playing with these days?
I'm playing in like some local bands around Manhattan Beach, Hermosa Beach. We do a lot of cover gigs. Um, I also do a lot of like solo stuff for weddings.
Oh,
Just
okay.
kind of like some of the songs that you'll see on my YouTube channel.
Oh, nice.
I
Yeah.
will I'll perform those at a wedding, either at the ceremony or the at the reception.
Okay.
So it's a lot of fun.
Nice. Have you ever done the wedding song by Kenny G?
I learned that one of my last weddings I did. Yeah,
Okay, cool.
it's
Yeah, I
funny.
played. Yeah,
Yeah,
I played that one once at a wedding.
yeah. When the bride walks down, that's
Yeah,
what she wanted.
yeah, yeah. Similar, same request.
Yeah,
Cool. When you play, is it just solo saxophone, or are you playing like with a track, or how's that work?
I'll have like a karaoke track
Oh,
behind
okay.
me, or instrumental, and then I'll just play on top of it.
Oh, okay, cool. Yeah, one time I played like a little like Christmas party, and I didn't do that. I just brought a saxophone, and it felt like a
Yeah.
long, long time.
Oh, it's very tough
Yeah,
without any background music to accompany you. For me, it gets like a little tough.
yeah, yeah. I kind of felt the same thing. I was just trying to play different things. I was like, oh, what can I play? And I was like, oh, okay.
Yeah,
And then afterwards, I was like, I should have written more things on the set list and figured it out a little better, but it turned out okay. But
but yeah, you managed.
yeah, yeah.
How long did you play for?
I think I played maybe 40 minutes, so not too long, but
Wow.
a little while. Just just saxophone stuff. Just pulled out some ballads, did a little bit of improvisation. Um,
Yeah.
yeah, so it was fun, but a different experience for me, and I think I learned something from trying that out. So
Very
cool.
cool.
Yeah, and actually, yeah, I do find that yeah, with the cover songs and like some of the pop songs, those are super popular at the weddings. I'm in a group
Yeah.
around here when we play a bunch of weddings. We'll play like Treasure from like Bruno Mars, or we played Happy
Yeah.
by Pharrell. So I think maybe some of the songs that I've seen you play too, that people just love
Yeah.
those. Sometimes they ask for like another time later on in the same song.
Exactly. Yeah. For some reason, I mean, because people will always be attracted to a song they already know, and then when they
Yeah.
hear it played with a different instrument or a different style, they love it.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can see it that way. Yeah, I think yeah. Sometimes you want to even like when you're performing, you bring them in with something that's more familiar. Then you can kind of take them to a different place. But if you start
Mhm.
with the crazy place early on, they're like, oh, that's it's kind of strange.
Yeah. That's true. That is
Yeah.
true.
Okay. So yeah, on YouTube, you got like what's like 17 or 18 million views, something like that.
Yeah. Almost 17.
Oh, okay. Cool.
Almost
Cool.
17 million. Yeah.
Nice. Yeah, I think I got like 1.4 just about. So I got a
The
few.
first.
Yeah.
That's good. The first million's always the toughest.
Yeah. Yeah, yeah, it took the longest for that. I remember when that was counting down. When did you start your YouTube channel?
This was back in the winter of 2010. So
2010.
this is
Okay.
like, yeah, late 2010.
Okay. And what made you decide to get the project going?
I was, at that time I was playing in a couple bands, and it came to a point where I was just somewhat frustrated, always going to rehearsals and playing local shows, and uh, having to promote those shows to my friends and family who've already seen the band play a number of times. And I really wanted to also have the creative you know, to have the whole creative, I guess, what's the word I'm looking for? Creative control
Okay.
over what I was playing and what I wanted to do. And YouTube was like the perfect audience for that.
Okay.
I really didn't know what to expect with YouTube. I kind of thought that, yeah, I would have to put out like a lot of videos before, you know, to see what would really happen. I wasn't expecting like to put out 3 videos and that would determine if I would continue. I had the mindset that it was going to be like a year or 2 process, and then from then I would determine if I wanted to still do it or try something different. So I've been doing it ever since,
Okay.
and yeah, I love it.
Nice. Yeah, I was checking out your channel today, and you have 444 videos that I noticed.
Yeah,
So you got a number of them. Yeah, I think that's the attitude you have to have with YouTube. Like, but yeah, when did it start to kind of take off though? Because I imagine you got pretty popular fairly early on, right?
yeah. Well, I did a collab my first or second year in it,
Okay.
and the guy he probably had maybe, I forgot how many subscribers he had at the time, but we posted it on his channel, and then I got a lot of viewers from his channel. And then like 3 years into it, I did some other like really cool collabs. I started filming at the YouTube space in Los Angeles,
Hmm.
and that even inspired me to keep going with it.
Okay. What was that like? I've seen like some videos and things of that area. It seemed like they've got a whole bunch of cool toys, a bunch of neat things you can do, right?
Oh yeah, yeah. You got to come check it out down there. It's a movie studio,
Okay.
and it's free to use for YouTubers, and they have all the top of the line gear and studio space. They have 4K cameras, and they also have a lot of events there. Like they have music nights where you'll see like a band play, like major label bands will play there, and they have movie screenings and stuff like that.
That's
It's
cool.
really cool.
I didn't know that you could just go use it. I thought you had to be like kind of a sort of a select group of people.
You can use it if you want to go in as your own channel. You need to have a certain threshold,
Okay.
meet some requirements, and then you have to take like a training class
Okay.
also before that. But if you don't meet that or you don't do that, you can also just do videos with someone who already has access to it,
Oh, okay.
like myself. Yeah,
Okay. That's cool. Yeah.
yeah,
I
it's
should keep
really
that in
cool.
mind. I'll have to
Yeah.
come visit you sometime.
Oh yeah, definitely. You're
Yeah.
always welcome.
Nice, nice. I appreciate that.
Yeah.
So it sounds like you started in the collaborations, and you probably met a lot of interesting people that way, right?
Yeah, and I live in LA, so
Okay.
it's always like there's always a musician, everywhere I go.
Yeah.
There's either someone who's on YouTube or someone who's doing music, so
Okay.
it's pretty easy to find, people who are willing to do collabs.
Okay. Interesting.
Yeah.
Do you find them tend to find like where you live, or do you find people like through YouTube and like Instagram and different platforms too, or how's that work?
I meet some musicians through Instagram. Early on, I used to reach out on YouTube to different musicians, and nowadays I'm meeting a lot of people just face to face at events.
Okay.
So it varies a lot of the time.
All right. Cool. Yeah, it seems like
Yeah.
you've kind of built some momentum with the different projects you're doing, so people probably find you.
Yeah, and that's the thing. Like, um, I'm trying to branch out to like not just saxophonists. I'm also looking at guitarists, pianists,
Okay.
vocalists. I really like working with vocalists because I think like a lot of the recording gear I already have
Yeah.
is geared for the saxophone, and the saxophone's so close to similar to the human voice.
Okay.
So I feel like it's a pretty easy transition for me to to sound engineer those type of videos.
Oh, okay. That's cool. Yeah, I saw. I think you did a video a couple, or maybe like a month ago, with like the Game of Thrones, where you had like harmonies and everything with all that.
Yeah,
Yeah. At first, like I saw the title, I was like, oh, he's gonna have like different saxophones, but it's like just like different harmonies with the alto, right?
Yeah, it was
Yeah,
all the alto, yeah.
that was pretty cool though. It had a cool blend, and I
Oh,
think
thanks.
I think I might have done a lesson on that song. But
Probably.
yeah, in terms of like your saxophone playing, did you start playing when you were in school, or were you playing like in school bands? Did you?
Yeah, I started like in 7th grade,
Okay.
and I started on alto, and then even after college, I started playing tenor and soprano, like
Okay.
way more.
Yeah.
Um, but I always wanted to learn the saxophone, so I
Okay.
had the opportunity to, so I took it.
Okay. And you were playing like in the school bands, like the jazz bands and all that stuff.
Yeah, jazz band. I was in marching band one year.
Okay.
Um, woodwind ensemble. I did
Okay.
pretty much all that stuff.
Yeah. Was the music program pretty solid at your school?
Yeah, it was pretty good. I went to two high schools. I went to Hamilton High School here in Los Angeles, and then that was my freshman year. And then after that, my family moved to the outskirts of Los Angeles to a little town called Agora Hills, and
Okay.
I went to Agora High School for 3 years, and we had a really strong music program there. There were like a lot of great players, like
Okay.
tons. Yeah.
Nice.
So I don't know. You probably know Danny Janklow, right? Alto player.
Danny Janklow. I'm not sure if I do.
Yeah,
Maybe I'll look him up.
he also went to Agora. We went separate. We didn't like go at the same time, but
Oh, okay.
he's a really good player. Really
Okay.
like amazing. Yeah.
Cool. Is he younger than you or older than you?
Yeah, he's younger than me.
Okay.
He's a killer player. Plays
Okay.
alto,
All right.
and
Yeah.
he plays straight ahead jazz,
Okay.
bebop, all that.
All
Yeah.
right. Do you think there's a pretty big scene for like straight ahead down in LA?
Um, like the places I tend to go are more like I like the reggae stuff and the funk stuff.
Okay.
I think, and I lived around the beach areas, so there are some. I live pretty close to the lighthouse,
Okay.
from the La La Land movie.
Oh yeah, yeah.
And
Yeah.
there's like a lot of old jazz. They used to have a lot of like recordings there, like Miles Davis and a whole bunch of other like heavy hitters back in the day would play there. Um, Around here, I tend to like see, yeah, like I said, like reggae, funk, like rock music.
Okay.
Um, there are some good jazz venues, towards the valley, towards downtown. Um, so I mean, it's LA. There's always going to be somewhere to go to see music.
Yeah. Do you play with some of the reggae bands and the rock bands and the R&B stuff like that?
Yeah, and I was in a before I started doing YouTube really consistent. I was in a reggae band for a while,
Okay.
and before that, I never really played reggae
Yeah.
at all. And then after I was in the band, I really grew an appreciation for that style of music.
Okay. Yeah. Nice. Yeah. I joined a reggae band about a year ago, and then I guess
Oh,
a year and
cool.
a half now. But it's been pretty cool. Like it feels like a lot of people are really into it, and like we've traveled to different places. We even went down to like Rosarito in Mexico to a festival there.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it's fun. We played on Treasure Island last weekend. Yeah, we played like
Oh, cool.
we played a show like after the Mayweather McGregor fight. It was kind of a funny like combination,
Really?
like the fight and then like two reggae bands. But
So it
it's
must
fun.
have been a
Yeah.
lot of foot traffic coming through.
Yeah, I think some people saw the fight and then they stayed for the music, and then some people were there
Yeah.
for the music too. So pretty
Oh, that's
cool
cool.
little group. This place up in Gilroy.
Yeah.
How many times have you gone to now?
Um, I think my first year was 2014. So 14, 15, 16. So I've been there 4 years. 4 years I've been going.
Oh, okay, and I think I've probably seen you there. Has
Yeah.
it been I think it's been every time that I've been there. I missed one year, I think, but
Yeah, I've seen you at least 2 times, maybe 3 times,
yeah, I think
I
so.
think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
When you go to the NAMM show, are you kind of connecting with musicians? Are you trying to try out different equipment and horns and stuff, or what's kind of your idea when you go there?
I'm looking more just to meet meet people
Okay.
and yeah, meet musicians. Like trying the equipment's awesome. I get like tired of playing and I can't tell the difference like what is what after a little while. I mean
Yeah.
everything is awesome there. Anything you try is like awesome. Any mouthpiece, any ligature, any saxophone. I mean, it's like being at a toy store.
Yeah, it's pretty fun to go there. Yeah. And this last year, I was kind of focusing on sopranos because I'd never really played them before. So I tried out just like all kinds of sopranos. And then I
Yeah,
ended
I saw
up,
your
I ended up buying
videos.
one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which one
Yeah.
did you end up getting?
Oh, I ended up getting this one. This 1929 Con.
Oh, so
So
not
it's
even one that was
no,
at
definitely
NAM.
not. Definitely not. I was talking to Justin Clunk, who you
Yeah.
introduced us, and he was telling me that sometimes I was asking him like I think about like bushers and like old horns because I play like on a busher or tenor, and he's saying that sometimes you can find like some con sopranos for like a pretty good deal. So I ended up
Yeah.
finding one on eBay, and they shipped it to me in this big box with like a bunch of packaging materials and stuff. I think it was okay when it got to me, but it was like coming from like Wisconsin or something. And
Oh
then
yeah.
I ended up, I think I got like 5 pads replaced. I put on some little pieces of cork myself. A couple times the screws come loose, but basically it's in pretty good shape. So I'm not sure exactly its history from like 1929 to now, but I like it. It's been a pretty good one.
That's cool. And like Justin's another one of those guys that is like amazing player and all
Yeah,
that. So I would definitely you took his word for it, and it
yeah,
looks like it worked out well.
yeah. He was super
Yeah.
cool. Like I had never met him before that day, but then like you were talking to him, and then I was like, oh yeah, I was talking to
Yeah.
Brian, and then he was like talking to me for a little while. I think it might have even been in the room that you were playing with. You were playing, I think, with like Anna
Uh,
Apocalypse,
yeah.
the
Anastantina.
performance, right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah. It was at yeah. That's where you two guys were.
yeah,
Yeah, I
yeah,
remember that.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah. That was cool when you guys stopped by.
Yeah, that was neat
It's
to
real
see you play
cool.
live, like in a
Yeah.
band setting. I hadn't really seen that,
Yeah.
so cool, nice. Let's see. In terms of like how you practice the saxophone and how you approach like what you're doing, what kind of stuff do you tend to practice these days? Do you like do a bunch of transcribing? Do you learn a bunch of stuff by ear? I think you learn a bunch of the music you know by ear, but do you do like solos and
Yeah.
stuff too, or how do you approach
Yeah.
like?
I'll just play. I just play a lot by ear.
Okay.
Sometimes I'll work on like different scales and arpeggios and things like that. Overtones is another thing I used to work on a lot. I
Okay.
haven't done so as much lately, but those
Right.
really help everything, not just like altissimo. It helps
Yeah.
just your control on the instrument and your tone.
Yeah.
So, I mean, for me, a lot of the times, like, because I don't really have too much time to like sit down and practice stuff. Like I'll consider me learning a song, or me recording a song, or me playing a gig as a form of practice.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like anytime I have the horn in my mouth, that's
Yeah.
that's me practicing.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Yeah, one of my teachers, Gary Meek, he was saying basically he doesn't really do long tones. He figures just like whenever he's playing, he's working on his tone. If you're aware of it,
Yeah,
you can be like kind of doing things and improving it. I guess if you're unaware, then it doesn't really matter. But I
yeah,
mean, you'll still get better, but it'll just be not as good, not as quick anyway. But okay, that's cool. Did you use like that book, like Rasher's book, like Top Tones for the Saxophone? Or
yeah. That's
okay.
the white cover with the red. It's like it's top tones is like in red or something, red font, I think.
Yeah,
I have
something like
that
that.
book.
Yeah, yeah. I think one of
I
the
have
lines
it
he's
like right there.
okay. I think I got it somewhere around here too. But yeah, I think he says in there too that like it kind of doesn't matter even if you don't need to play altissimo or that's not your aspiration. If you work on the
Yeah.
overtones, you'll develop just your tone, your sound.
Mhm.
So
Yeah.
that's cool. Do you tend to learn like saxophone solos too, or do you focus on? Do you kind of learn from like vocals more often when you're playing music?
When in high school and stuff, like not that I could play them perfectly, but like I would like I have the Charlie Parker Omni book,
Yeah.
so that was always with me. I was always trying to practice out of that, play out of that,
Okay.
try to play along with the recordings.
Yeah.
So now, like, because of the stuff I do on YouTube, I'm a lot of the songs I'm doing, I'm playing the vocal, I'm covering vocal songs.
Yeah.
So I'll listen to the vocalists and just imitate them, or at least that'll give me like a starting point.
Okay.
On how I want to approach that song.
Okay. Did it seem harder to do that when you started to like kind of imitate the vocals, or was it pretty easy from when you started?
It's pretty easy from when I started, because I was doing that type of stuff like even before I was doing YouTube.
Okay.
Sometimes I would just like turn on the radio. Well, yeah, back in the day, I would turn on the radio and play.
Okay.
before Spotify and everything else, we once had the radio.
Yeah. Yeah, when I did that interview with Russ Palladino, he was saying that he would just listen to the radio. And he would check out different things, and he'd play along with a bunch of different styles also. So
yeah, and then when it's just you work on with the radio, everything's random or kind of random. It really helps you trying to pick up what key it is right off the bat. Trying to like when the new song comes on, if you don't know what to expect next, it's a good way to train your ear.
Okay. Do you find that some of the singers are harder to kind of copy what they're singing by playing your saxophone, or you just been doing it for a while? It's just you kind of got the hang of it at this point.
Yeah, like Michael Jackson is really hard to copy.
Yeah.
Mariah Carey, the ones like ones who have really wide ranges.
Yeah.
Get into falsetto range and all that. It takes some skill to try to do that stuff.
Yeah. For me, I found like a few of the voices are just kind of hard to, and like Michael Jackson is like another one. What was kind of funny is I was talking to this guy online, and he said he was having trouble learning by ear, and then I said, "Oh, what do you try?" And it's like, "Oh, a Michael Jackson song." I was like, "Oh, well, maybe you should start with something."
Yeah.
I just kind of off the bat, I was like, "Well, it's not the easiest guy to imitate necessarily."
Yeah, and a guy like Michael Jackson, it's not just his range, but like a big part of his singing. Like he had like so much emotion in his singing, like all the inflections and everything else. It was hard to copy.
Yeah. I think but it sounds like you've done a lot of it, like going and listening to the singers and trying to get some ideas from them. I think I think other saxophone players do that as well, but sometimes we maybe focus more on listening to other saxophone players, which can be good, but you can kind of get different ideas and different approaches by kind of branching out what you're doing. So
I
cool.
definitely I listen to a lot of saxophone players.
Okay.
Like some of my favorites are like Paul Desmond,
right.
David Sanborn, Gerald Albright, Eric Darius, and that's not even going back to the older times. You have like Charlie Parker, John Coltrane, Cannonball Adderley. I listen to a lot. Cannonball Adderley maybe is like my favorite all time.
Yeah, he's amazing.
Yeah.
Cool. Did you learn some of his solos back in the day? Did you kind of get some of it?
I tried to. I'd always listen to Kind of Blue.
Okay.
The Miles Davis album.
Yeah.
So that one had, I would try to do my best to play along with, the Miles Davis solos, some of the Cannonball Adderley solos, John Coltrane stuff. Oh my God.
Yeah. Yeah. When you learn music, do you use some sort of like looping device, or do you just basically listen to it and go along with it?
I'll listen to it if it's more of a difficult. Listen to it all the way through.
Yeah.
A lot of the pop songs, the verses are all the same. Yeah. There's typically like 2 or 3 verses, 2 or 3 choruses. Maybe there's a pre-chorus, and then there, 2 or 3 pre-choruses. Then there's like 1 bridge. Mm-hmm. So there's a formula to those songs. So if you know, as long as you know how a verse goes, you can kind of play that same style in the other verses. If you know the chorus, you can throw that into all the other choruses. And then usually, you know, you throw in a little solo or something at the end, which is what the vocalists do.
Oh, okay. Yeah, so it sounds like just by kind of knowing a little bit about the format, you kind of know what to expect, and it becomes an easier process, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Do you play much piano yourself?
Yeah, I play a little bit of piano. I have
Okay.
a keyboard that I use. I use that for some of the like instrumentals I make.
Okay.
So it comes in handy not just to play, but also like to program some backing tracks, or if you, it's also a good writing tool
Oh, yeah.
for originals and stuff.
Okay. What are some of your more recent projects with like the originals? I know you've recorded at least one or two albums, right?
Yeah, I have one album that's from 2012.
Okay.
So,
All
so I
right.
think I'm due for another one.
Yeah.
It hasn't really been my focus,
Okay.
you know, the past couple of years. I do have some song ideas. I just haven't really put, you know, pen to paper and recorded them.
Mm-hmm.
That is something I do want to do.
Oh, okay. Yeah, yeah. Because it's hard to like juggle different projects sometimes, but
Yeah, it's like you get caught up, you know, doing the YouTube stuff and, you know, performing live. So it's taking the time to like isolate yourself even more so. As a YouTuber, you're already isolated from the world.
yeah.
Like to make the videos and to edit the videos, you can't really be out, you know,
Mm-hmm.
out and about all the time. You really got to like take time to edit the videos by yourself, work on the stuff. Luckily with the collaborations, you have another partner where you can do this stuff with.
Okay.
So yeah, writing originals and recording that kind of fell to the kind of the bottom of my list at this point.
Oh, okay. But you're maybe gonna get back into it?
Yeah, I want to.
Okay.
I definitely want to.
Okay, cool, cool. Yeah, that'd be cool to check out.
Yeah.
Where do you think you're gonna be going with with the YouTube channel and like your other projects? Like, what direction?
Oh, I I still, you know, want to continue doing the music videos. That kind of how my channel started, of just me. I know back in, you know, when I first started, I also was doing more parody type stuff. I was taking
Oh yeah,
songs
yeah.
and
So
trying to
like
have
when
more,
you like went back in time and there's like a burrito or something and like
yeah, stuff like that.
yeah, I
But
saw
even
that.
doing like funny stuff, like I did like a Star Trek
Uh-huh.
video, like cover song, and then I really made it. In my opinion, it was kind of funny. Like I had my hair all crazy. Um, I do have a Gilligan's Island video in the works too.
Okay.
That one's pretty funny. That's going to be a good one. But yeah, just
All right.
going back to that, doing more stuff like that, having more fun with it, you know, on screen, and also how I have been the past year or so just doing more collaborations
Okay.
with other artists. I
Yeah.
feel like that it's not only like rejuvenated myself to work harder and continue doing it. I think it's a great opportunity for my viewers to meet other, you know, musicians, and
Oh yeah.
it works great.
Okay. Cool. So I guess we'll see some interesting things from you, including the Gilligan's Island.
Yeah,
All right. So to find you, basically just on YouTube, you type in BriansThing and you'll pop up,
yeah,
right? And then your website
what?
is briansthing.com.
Yeah, .com.
.com.
And you can look me up by my name, Brian Landau, Landau,
Okay. Cool.
on all the, you know, Twitter, Facebook,
Yeah, you're
Instagram,
pretty
all that.
visible. You got a presence online.
Thank you. Thanks, Neal. Yeah.